All right, what's going on, guys? Trev back again, here to bring you another video. This one's going to be doing a Fear the Walking Dead video for today, leading up to the finale episode for Fear the Walking Dead Season 5, Episode 16. In this one, we're going to just kind of give our thoughts overall, a lot of your guys' comments after Episode 15, and, whether or not Fear the Walking Dead is even good enough to have Walking Dead at this point in its title. Okay, so I got to go through and see all of your guys' comments after episode 15, and it looks like most people are in agreement that episode 15 was absolutely ridiculous and not in a serious good way. There were a few people who liked it. We have some who said that, okay, I liked it, whatever, and some who commented that, Trev, not everybody agrees with you that it's, it's this bad or that kind of thing. But, it's, and if you like the episode, that's fine too. That's cool. There's nothing wrong with that. There certainly is a type of audience of people who like kind of that, what I'll call it again, Z Nation approach, which is kind of to do a less serious, sort of more silly, more kind of crazy type of series. But that's kind of its own kind of satire type of thing. And, usually if you're doing a Walking Dead show that's supposed to be set in the Walking Dead universe, it can have comedy and it can have things like that, which is okay. But it should also have a lot of the same vibes and a lot of the same feels as the original series or as the comics, which is, of course, is named after The Walking Dead. This is Fear the Walking Dead. So you have a story that is not based off of Robert Kirkman's original comic book series, which was an incredible comic book series. Very sad that's over now. Absolutely amazing series, and for sure you can see how good it is now when you watch something through like Fear and you see kind of the changes in direction and the way they've kind of just managed the show overall. I think it really goes to show just how good the original Walking Dead comics actually is, and the original series is too, right? For what it's done over the years. Not every part of Fear has been that bad. They have had some really good parts of the series, and like I said, I did think the first half of season 5 was really good. It's just that, after episode 15, most people are saying the same thing. 90% or 85% of the people that I'm seeing from comments in the channel are just saying, like, this is just crazy how bad this is. It's really, really bad. The villain's ridiculous. The camera documentary fighting is ridiculous. The different channel thing and trying to out each other, and Virginia literally trolling them in video like it's like it's internet video or something is just, it's absolute. I don't even like to see that kind of stuff on the internet as it is, right? In real life. Seeing it in a zombie apocalypse series that's supposed to be set, having started in around 2010 or so. In their timeline, something like that, to see it in there, it feels like it doesn't fit, it doesn't make any sense, it's just crazy. And then to have a character death as a result of it, and this whole fighting over help idea, and them having to actually call Virginia for help at the end of the episode, this is shameful. It is just really, really, it's shameful. Ash Williams says the showrunners have also expressed interest in doing a musical episode, and they are dead serious, right? I have not read that interview, but I'll take your word for it, Ash. Maybe you're just kidding. I don't know. I haven't seen them say anything like that. There was a musical episode in Buffy the Vampire Slayer, which I remember, which I like Buffy. I don't have a problem with that. But each universe is its own thing. You could do a musical episode in Buffy the Vampire Slayer. You can't do it in Walking Dead, or at least not a series that has The Walking Dead in its title and try to say it's the same universe. Now, if you're going to do a different series, which is, set in its own universe and didn't take characters from the original Walking Dead series and bring them into your series, then you can do something like that if it's totally its own unique thing. But when you cross over characters from the original series to this one, when it's supposed to be the same universe and the same country, and not even that far away in terms of location, being in Texas here, it's not that far. It's like, wow, it's just crazy. Again, Walking Dead is not supposed to be Z Nation. Z Nation got canceled. It didn't continue on. So, you have the backing of the comics, you have the name, and you have to somewhat, live up to what the name is supposed to be. Rick Grimes says, Virginia, looks like Rodeo Rosie from Sesame Street. So is that where they get their inspiration from? Sesame Street. Yeah, that makes sense. Blake Matthews says, when I saw tonight's episode was another documentary episode, I almost turned it off. The Walking Dead posted on Instagram, what surprises do you think the Fear season finale will have? And I said I'd be really surprised if the show was actually good again. And I think the finale episode will be good again. I think 16 will actually be good. That's what I think, because you do have a great director. You got lots of zombies, you got lots of stuff going on, you have all your casts basically in the episode, so it should be good. It has no excuses for a reason not to be. And episode 15 should have been really good too, considering it looks like it had the budget to do a lot of cool stuff. You had the bridge, you had a whole bunch of zombies, you had all of your cast in it. It should have been really good. It just really wasn't. At least not for me. And most of you guys too, from what you guys said. Cahaps says, all lies, the show is pure garbage. Connie Ty says, I almost gave up. Or TY. Brian Achim says, anyone remember how awesome season 5 of the main Walking Dead was compared to this? And it's like, wow, you can't, they're not even in the same, you want to go Fear the Walking Dead, they're not in the same ballpark, right? The stadium, they're not in the same ballpark at all. I mean, the original Walking Dead's 5th season, even though there was like the Beth episode and stuff like that, and there was some episodes like that because you had a concentration with her in the second half of season 4 and season 5 of the original Walking Dead series. I mean, even with Dawn and the police officers and that kind of stuff, even though there was a lot of people who didn't like that stuff because it wasn't in the comics, and up until that point they were sticking to the comics pretty closely, still, man, I mean, season 5 of the original Walking Dead series was amazing season. It was an amazing season. And to see something like this, again, with the same name in it, for this back half as Walking Dead, it's really sad in a serious way, right? XbamfX 816 says, we say this every week, so we're saying every week is the worst episode? No, I mean, episode 13 and 14, I think most of us thought, 13 especially, was a good episode. 14 was pretty good too. We don't say that every single episode of Fear is the worst episode ever. Like, the first half, I was loving all the episodes. I thought it was great. I thought the first half of season 5 was something that was fun, and there was some extreme ideas like the meltdown and the plane or them flying and everything. But man, I loved it. I thought it was awesome. And just the second half has just been so lackluster for me. It's really crazy. Kaiden Stinson says, it's so crazy to think I actually preferred Fear over the original series at one point during season 3. This has turned into an absolute train wreck. F. Renae H says, Trev, do you think we'll ever get to see the Abraham / Doc tape? I don't think so, and to be honest, I really don't care anyway, right, at this point. Peter says, again, I feel like I'm the only one who genuinely likes this show. So, okay, so let me be clear on something, too. I do like Fear in terms of, I watched it and did reviews of every single episode from the very first season up until now. I enjoyed the first 3 seasons for what they were. I liked it. I thought the first half of season 4 minus one character death was really awesome. I thought the first half of season 5 was really awesome. Really what we're talking about here, for me anyway, or what I'm talking about here is I'm talking about when Fear has some weak parts, like the second half of season 4, second half of season 5. Some of it is so weak, you'd almost rather be doing something else with your hour. You'd almost rather be cleaning the house or, having a beer or hanging out with your family or doing whatever. And to take time out to watch something like this when it's so ridiculous, it's just, it's hard. It's hard to do and it's hard to justify. Brian Achim says, Tom thought he was in Cloverfield, right? Noah Ben says, do a character spotlight on Tom. Chase says, I can't stop laughing at just how ridiculous the show has gotten. Hearing you recap what happens has me dying. So it's, at least we can be positive about that. It's fun for us to kind of recap in this way, in my opinion, and just kind of talk about how ridiculous and just silly and stupid it is. It's just kind of sad, too, because season 3 took itself seriously. It was a serious take on it. It was an immersive experience. You could watch it through and you could feel like you were right there with them. You were in the zombie apocalypse with them. Sure, there was some stuff there, too, they did that was a little bit different, like Nick doing the adrenaline stuff with Troy and some of the other stuff that they did. But it was a pretty immersive experience, and it was one that it felt as Walking Dead as any season of Fear ever has, right? I think that's what I would say. It felt very Walking Dead. And even season 1 did to some degree too. It was different, but also, and then season 2 with the Abigail and stuff, a little bit different, but also a very Walking Dead. But ever since season 3, it has not felt that way. The crossover and that kind of stuff, you know, I don't know. I guess it's not, the crossover is not to blame. If anything, it's helped Fear continue on, and it's gotten a 6th season. But I just really hope that in season 6 they start to take things a bit more seriously. They can have some comedy, they can have stuff like that, but the proportion has to be a bit more in the serious column, I think. Peter Francis says, not everyone feels the same way as you do about this episode, Trev, so some people really liked it, and that's fine too. Like I said, you know, if you like it, that's fine. You know, but after episodes like this, I'd say from the majority of what people are saying about the show, from the majority of how people are responding throughout this back half, is like, you know, it really feels like the show is barely hanging on, and they might let it slip. They might lose it to the point where, you know, they might have to cancel it in next year or the year after that, something like that. Alex Jude said, change the showrunners or they will lose this show, is garbage. So like he's saying, yeah, you know, you got to be careful or you will lose it. Like what we're starting to see right now, in my opinion, is we're starting to see a downslide that will go towards cancellation, I think, at least based on doing this for a decade and reviewing lots of different series and seeing, you know, which ones are going to continue, which ones aren't. If it continues like that, yeah, I would expect for it to be canceled after season 6 or something like that. Mr. Kwame D86 says, I normally don't complain about the episodes of Walking Dead, but this has got to be the worst episode not only of Fear, but the entire Walking Dead franchise. LOL. Good try, though. Yeah, it is one of the absolute worst that they've ever done. I mean, the whole, you know, calling her for help at the end thing is just, it's so embarrassing. It's so ridiculous. She's such a bad villain anyway. To be sort of bested by her in this way, it's embarrassing. Lamel KH2 says, Tom had the stupidest death in any Walking Dead medium. Yeah, he did. He died because he wanted to get the story. He wanted to film with Althea, the Fear of the Walking Dead's April O'Neil, I guess. Bryant Martinez says, I predict less than 1 million views, and that's what we're saying, is that if it continues like that, that's what you would expect to see. You'd expect to see less interest. You'd expect to see less people watching it. And you would expect to see it eventually kind of fizzle out here. So I really hope that next year in season 6, you know, we see a whole season all the way through that's something like the first half of season 5, or just, you know, something that just all around, you know, works better, takes itself a bit more seriously, and can stretch a bit for these kind of other ideas, but doesn't get consumed by them. Bryant Martinez also said, my boy Dwight was ready to pop Virginia as soon as she mentioned Sherry. That was the height of the episode. I think Austin Emilio forgot that he was he was in this series, and he was acting the same way as he would in the original Walking Dead, which is good, but it felt so odd. It was your favorite part of the episode, probably mine too, and that's because he acted the same as he would have if he was in regular Walking Dead. Not so ridiculous like this. Everybody calm down. We're going to help each other. It's going to be okay. She's just going to steal all our oil. She's going to, you know, fire off some guns and have a whole bunch of zombies come in, and we're not going to do anything about it. We're just going to roll over. So it's cool. Oh man, oh my God, Giuseppe, we're going to film it. That's how we're going to get her back. We're going to film it and we're going to release it. We're going to leave tapes around in random places and hope people see them, because the internet sort of is it's the zombie apocalypse internet is leaving them at different truck stops, right? Giuseppe DeRosa says, Tom's death was the dumbest thing I've ever seen. He could have easily gone off that bridge, but he just stood there. And he was filming too, right? He was standing there, I gotta film, you gotta get this, how do I get the story here? Jojo 2Dan says, this is bad that I enjoyed it. Well, it's entertainment, so you're supposed to kind of enjoy it, but it's definitely, I don't know. It's like, I just don't know. Dwighty Boy 83 said, I thought the bridge action scene was dang good until that absolutely laughable Tom death, and they rather give into Virginia than go to Virginia. Quite frustrating, man. It is, man. It's really, 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 really frustrating. Last one will be from Cleverboy86, who says, tuned into the episode, suddenly started to appreciate the Game of Thrones series finale more. And it's true, man. I mean, this is definitely one of the weaker seasons we've ever seen of Walking Dead anything. And it's wow, it's really, really crazy. I just hope season 6 next year is better. This is just, I mean, it's like I got to find something else to do, guys. It's getting that close. Like, it's getting really close to the point where hopefully this finale, episode 16, is a lot better. It doesn't fix the whole thing, but hopefully it will be, because I mean, I can't keep making videos with you guys every week on Fear with this kind of stuff, you know, that they're producing here. It's it's crazy. It doesn't warrant me doing this with you guys to where we're reviewing it and we're giving our thoughts. Like, it's not taking itself seriously at all. How are we going to take it seriously? And it's like, wow, maybe I'll just review different Netflix series every week and publish reviews for that once every Sunday. We'll do a different series premiere, something for different Netflix shows or different series out there, and try some other stuff, because that's the point where it's getting with me at. It's like, I'm just like, wow, we'll do the original Walking Dead series, fine, but for these other shows, for Walking Dead, Fear, and then that other one they're going to add on, I don't know, because man, I don't know if we keep doing this week after week. It's like, if they keep, let's put it this way, if every episode was like episode 15 here, I would say we would have to do something else. I'd have to stop publishing reviews for it, because it's just like, wow, I just think it's that silly, it's that ridiculous, and it's that nonsensical. That's what we'd have to do. Anyway, let's hope that episode 16 is better. I think it will be, and I don't want to make it all sound like it's all doom and gloom. But certainly, I really hope that the last episode, and I hope season 6 is a lot better and takes itself more seriously than what Fear is doing right now. That absolutely ridiculous. What a ridiculous concept in The Walking Dead to do. I just don't even know. Leave your comments below. Let me know what you guys think. If you like the video, please thumb it up below. You can share, you can favorite, and subscribe at the bottom left. That's it for this one. I'll see you guys again soon for another video. As always, this is Trev. I'm saying peace. Later, guys. See you soon.